Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A, formerly 5B, and this is not going to be a garden tour because we don't have a garden anymore. I am basically just in garden cleanup mode at this point because earlier this week we had our first frost, and then a couple days ago we had our first freeze. So most of the garden is gone. I mean, you can still see the plants and stuff, but it's all dead except for the radishes and some of the green onions. So I'm still trying to protect the radishes when I can. So when we had the freeze, I covered them. So they're still thriving, but I need to start doing bed cleanup. So today, in the short period of time I have with you, I am going to start cleaning out the pepper beds. I'll give you a brief look at some of the things that had been thriving in the garden, but there's really not much to see anymore. So first off, you can tell it's the winter season, fall season, whatever you want to call it, because we have twice as strong as wind as we normally do in the summer. So this is going to be kind of windy. If you can't hear me, I apologize. I'll try to do this the best that I can. But as you can see, the loofah is gone. There is nothing left. It looks like Halloween decoration at this point. It's just really rough. I ended up with, I think, 64 loofah fruit. A lot of them are green, so we'll see if I can manage to dry them out. As you can see, the peas are gone. The tomatoes don't look very good at all. And the okra plants are skeletons of themselves. I'm waiting for the pea pods. I'm waiting for the seed pods to dry out, and then I will harvest the seeds from there. But this is where we will be working today, is the pepper bed. The daikons are doing fairly good. Like I said, I covered them with a sheet when we had the freeze, and so most of them have survived, but there is nothing left in these two pepper beds. So we're just gonna take them out. So the calendula looks pretty decent. There's some dead stuff in there. I'm wondering if I just trim it, because we're not supposed to get extremely cold temperatures again for a while. So we'll do an experiment to see how long she keeps going. Just clean her up a bit. Oh look, there's a loofah I forgot. I guess it just gets to stay there until I clean up enough to actually get in that area. There's also some spinach and stuff over here that's looking okay. But it's all buried in a very dead tomato plant. And I really don't want to deal with tomato plants right now because mushy tomatoes aren't my favorite things to handle. So I'm gonna give those a little more time to dry up before I even think about pulling up tomatoes. The last thing I want to do today is deal with these cowpea plants. I think everything else I either want to dry out a little bit more, or they're going to be so much to deal with that I don't quite want to hit it today. Hitting the easy stuff first. And I do tend to leave the roots of plants in the ground to decompose over the winter. Add back some of that nutrients. But if they're in the way when I plant next spring, they may get moved. So this is just the start of the cleanup of the 2024 garden. I think early next week, I'll start pulling down the loofah plant because it is pretty dry and crispy at this point, so it should be easy. Tomatoes, I might wait a little while before I even tackle those, because like I said, mushy tomatoes, I don't like handling those. So I will avoid that for as long as I can, so that'll probably be the last thing I clean up. I'm not sure the okra will dry out the way I want them to, because they're looking kind of mushy, so I might not get any more seeds off of those plants, so I might be pulling those down relatively soon as well. But early November, so in a couple weeks, I will be planting out the garlic, and so I'm going to start prepping that area for garlic, and by that area I mean the area near where the peppers used to just be that I just cleaned out, where the chickpeas were this year. I think I'm going to use some of the soil from some of these pots as I clean out the pots to fill up the beds a little bit more, and then I'm going to add some amendments. I'm going to add some worm castings. I'm going to add some biotone and things like that. And we will put the first things in the ground for the 2025 garden as the season comes to a close. I'll keep you updated on if I actually get daikons. Right now, it's looking pretty favorable. The fact that they're still alive, and I think I can keep them going until harvest time, which I think is about mid-November. November 11th, I believe, is what I've calculated that they'll be fully bulbed up. But I will for sure keep you updated on that. But if you want to see how this garden cleans up and plans for next year's garden, subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I also have an Instagram and Threads account where I do photo updates of what's going on, what I'm cooking, what I'm preserving, and all of that kind of stuff. I have some interesting interesting photos going up recently with some of the harvests that I had to do fairly quickly as we learned about the frost and the freeze. Other than that, I know this was a short and quick little video in the garden, but you take the time when you can. So I hope I will see you again in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.